As 2025 draws to a close, we can all take a step back, take a great big sigh of relief, and collectively say, what a terrible, terrible year it has been. The world is f***ed. If we don't all perish in a nuclear explosion, then we're probably just going to live long enough to witness the global heat death. I can't wait. But there is good news. Lots of truly amazing music has been released this year, so we're going to go through together and pick out some of the highlights. In this half, we're going to go through my top 5 singles that have been released this year, and there's going to be a follow-up that will be my top 5 albums of the year. Now, obviously, surprisingly enough, quite a lot of those singles are from albums are going to be on the other list, so we're going to kind of focus in and talk about the individual tracks today, and in the next video, we're going to go through and look at them as a kind of larger, wider piece of art. So, without any further ado, let's jump in. Trying to narrow this list down to just 5 songs was actually really difficult, so I'm going to start off with going through a couple of runners-up very quickly because I just can't bear to not mention these songs at all, so we're going to rattle through them. To start with, we had Dead Stick by King Gizzard and the Wizard Lizard. What a great album. I fully obsessed over it. That particular song has got so much character. It's fun. Ambrose has a fantastic verse in it. It probably would have worked its way further up into my list, but unfortunately, well, I mean, I understand why, but King Gizzard took all their music off of Spotify in protest of some admittedly questionable decisions that the Spotify CEO and the company themselves have made, which I totally get, but unfortunately, I'm pretty locked into the Spotify ecosystem, so my listening for King Giz has basically stopped, which is a massive shame because that song is great and the album is also good. We also have Don't Go in the Forest, the song by Avatar. A total random one I did not expect to get into at all. I got distracted by the thumbnail, actually. I just thought it was a cool image. This song happened to really captivate me. It's great. This one and Tonight We Must Be Warriors are great tracks. They both came off an album this year. I haven't kind of like fully gone into the Avatar kind of like mindset. I think they mostly tend to sit a little bit too heavy for me, but Don't Go in the Forest is a fantastic song. Finally, we've also got Walking Through Fire from The Darkness. We'll talk more about The Darkness in the next video. The album is fantastic, but Walking Through Fire is my favorite track on Dreams on Toast that just came out. It's wonderful. It's like every possible cliche attached to like kind of proper good old-fashioned rock and roll metal kind of like glam stuff, but just like executed perfectly. Justin Hawkins' voice is, as ever, fantastic. The song has got energy, the lyrics are clever, satirical. That's a great song. We'll talk about the album in the next video. Yes, spoilers, I guess. Number 5. Starting off with My Way by Dinosaur Pile Up.
I'ma do it.
This is a band where I was aware of one song from a while ago. My friend happened to play me thrash metal cassette, and I liked that one and never pursued them any further. And then again, on a total whim, happened to click on, I think it was this song to start me off actually, just because I recognized the name and was looking for something to listen to, and stumbled across just how fantastic this artist actually is. Well, I later found out it's basically just a one-man army, and he individually has gone through quite a rough time of it in the last couple of years. So this album, this song is extremely introspective. This song in particular, My Way, is kind of talking about how he's kind of like made it far enough through his career now that there is no reason to, you know, be beholden to anybody else. He's going to perform the music he wants to write. At this point, he's like kind of consolidating with the idea that he's probably never going to win a Grammy. He's not going to be, you know, Dave Grohl tier. He's just enjoying the art he's creating. And I really like the message. It's incredibly kind of noble the way he's putting it out there. But the song is just great. It's his fun, kind of throwback, kind of skater punk kind of thing. He's got a very good kind of high scream on him. Like, he hits those notes a lot. Fun harmonies. The songs aren't like hugely musically complicated. I'm sure, you know, guitar-wise, it's predominantly power chords. It's really well executed. The tone is immaculate. Sometimes there is something to be said for simplicity, and just a couple of harmonies, a couple of guitars, and some really, really fun riffs is all you need. I have so much respect for him as an artist. Yeah, really do yourself a favor and check that one out. Number 4. Number 4 is another song that I just stumbled across. I think, again, based on clicking the thumbnail, to be honest. God, the power of the thumbnail, hey? That is Pray for the Night by Creeper. Now, I might be showing a little bit of recency bias because I am currently obsessing over Creeper just as an entity. I knew one song, again, from a while ago, Poisoned Heart, didn't really pursue them any further, and have discovered, actually, I like pretty much their entire catalogue. But Sang of War 2 came out this year. This is probably the lead single from it, I would have said. It's just wonderful. I'm a big fan of Meatloaf. I've always liked that kind of style of thing. John Steinman writing. I grew up on that shit. It's kind of got this occult rock vibe to it, obviously, but this like wonderful piano line and a big brass section. There's a fantastic blood-curdling key change at the end. And anyone who knows me knows I cannot resist a great key change. His voice is fantastic. The backing vocals are great. It's just wonderful. I love this kind of like new scene I'm discovering that seems to be blossoming at the moment of kind of like more occult, theatrical rock. It's something that hits really close to my heart if you couldn't tell by all the Ghost merch I'm currently supporting. But I love the costumes. I love the pageantry. The whole thing is just tongue-in-cheek fun, and I really, really recommend it. Number 3. Talking of occult rock, number 3 is Lacrima by Ghost. I had a really hard time weighing up between Lacrima and Satanized. I know they were the two big singles, but I do happen to think they're two of the best songs on that album. But I did fall down with Lacrima. That chorus, man. That chorus. Those harmonies are just so pleasing to hear. It's got all of the beautiful instrumentation you'd expect with a Ghost song. There's so much attention to detail. There's synth lines coming out the wazoo. There's backing vocals, there's harmonies. It was the like kind of reveal of Papa 5, and Papa 5 feels like a very kind of joyous moment for Tobias Forge. He's kind of shed the full mask. He's got this new sleazy car salesman kind of vibe to him, which I really dig. You can tell just in the video and the song, it's like a celebration for Tobias being more free, singing more personally. That song is amazing. I will continue to be a Ghost fan till the day I die. I mean, I know I'm sucking up a little bit, but really, they just can't go wrong. And that song is just... It feels like the culmination of a lot of work along with the album it's, part of. So, yeah, no, hats off to Tobias. They've gone from big to massive to just, I don't know, the absolute king of their genre. It says everything that at the Ozzy Osbourne farewell gig, pretty much everybody in that picture, at the end of the famous picture with all of the, like, legends of rock that are still alive, and the youngest guy in that room, by far, is Tobias Forge, and it does look a little bit awkward in that picture, but it's very endearing. But yeah, legend in the making, legend now, amazing song. Number 2! Now, I had a lot of difficulty trying to rank specifically the numbers between the sort of top 3, but this is what I've come out with, and number 2 for me is Pyramid of Health by Viagra Boys.
Stood on a mountain and I turned to dust. Little green worm said it wasn't enough, so it turned me back into a bag of meat.
I was limiting myself to one single per band because there's a couple of albums on here that I probably could have had more than one contender on this list, and I was having a really difficult time trying to separate my favorite single from the most recent Viagra Boys album, Viagra Boys. It's very close. Uno 2 is a fantastic song. Man Made of Meat is a fantastic song, but Pyramid of Health, there is something about the kind of wry, dry nature of the delivery. The lyrics are just so wonderfully weird. They kind of conjure up this cynical, look at kind of like self-help gurus and all of this kind of like stupid ways that people go with these self-help books and things like that. And it's just this wonderful parody. You know, he's wandering around a desert and he's on a boat and he's drinking cactuses and having cigarettes for breakfast. The lyrics are just great. The delivery, as always with Viagra Boys, is just this wonderful half talk, half sing, all sleaze. It just drips with charisma. Honestly, the rest of the sort of soundscapeness of the song is really, really appealing to me. The way that the keyboard player in the Viagra Boys plays is really unlike many other bands I've heard. It's so kind of dirty and sleazy, and like I said, it's more of a soundscape than it is like kind of lead lines or anything like that, which really frees up the guitar to be more kind of melodic, I guess. It doesn't need to fulfill so much of the sort of wider soundscape. So, you know, because you've also got their ridiculous brass player as well. So they do a lot of kind of like fun thickening out of the sound. So you've got this kind of like slightly twangy sort of guitar line that leads the whole way through. It's just great. Viagra Boys are another band that I went from liking a lot to obsessing over this year. That whole album's very, very, very good, and you should check it out. Number 1! If you've paid any attention to this channel at all, you will know that number 1 for me this year was always going to be In the Name of the Father by President. I'm literally drinking my beer out of my expensive President merch right now. I have not been this caught up in a band in a very long time. The mystery, the intrigue, the imagery, it's all great. It's kind of like slightly genre bendy. Like, I feel like genre bending is somewhat a term that gets overused nowadays, but I think President are a very good example of that. He's got this kind of like heavier, obviously, you know, the sort of like Fight Star influence on there, but there's a lot of hip hop in there too, and they came flying out, scorching out with their opening single, In the Name of the Father, which I do think is probably the best single on that EP. It's just such like kind of barely controlled passion and chaos. You can really tell from the interviews with the president since that this sort of music he's been creating, this project, is all very personal to him. The sort of masks have allowed the president to sort of like be more revealing about his internal sort of feelings and his struggles and the sort of existential dread that's been creeping up, and it all manifests itself in this wonderful track. It turns out also that the president is pretty much the sole songwriter for this stuff, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, also actually recorded all of the parts in it too. I mean, I guess that's what happens when you're a very talented musician from a young age. He's just extremely good at all of it, but the production is like tight and clean. His vocal charisma in that song is amazing. I know that the kind of vocal effects on at least the verses specifically were a little bit polarizing. I started off by not being sure and have edged into actually really quite liking it. It gives it this strange, kind of almost melancholy that he has. I mean, he's singing down the octave, but there's a sort of like a pedal or, you know, an effect that is kind of mirroring it up in a kind of slightly hollow, auto-tuney sounding way, but he's definitely not doing it with the idea of kind of like correcting his pitch. It's just like a stylistic choice that I think is actually quite important to the president's sound, and I think it's something that distinguishes it from other stuff that is kind of closer to its, you know, its sort of style. Like, I know that there's a lot of people drawing comparisons to Sleep Token, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I think that things like that, these sort of vocal effects on there, really do distinguish it and make it its own thing. And then you get those massive screams in the chorus, just the way he builds up vocally over the course of those choruses. Starts down low, oh father, and then by the time he gets to I can't hear you yet, he is just full on screaming. You've got some fun backing vocals kind of like doing it back and forth with him. It's just amazing. It's so cathartic. You get in the car, you go on a treadmill, you just chuck that shit up as loud as you possibly can and scream along with it like there is no one else there. It's an emotional trip, and I love it. They're such a surprise hit for me this year. They've made me a fan of not just The President, but other projects that singer is involved with. I'm deciding to specifically not name him because I think it's kind of fun to buy into the mystique and all that, but I know people know. I've become a fan of him as an entity as well as all that music. That song is amazing. Now, let me know, what is your favorite single that's come out this year? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear all of your suggestions, whether it's stuff I've covered over the year or not. I would love to hear all of it. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for watching for this entire year. The channel has grown exponentially in the last, sort of 12 to 16 months, and it's been very, very satisfying to watch it grow. Maybe one day I'll be able to use this as my full-time career, which will make me a very, very happy man indeed. So I'll raise a glass to you, my loyal subscribers and viewers. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.